Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show once again this week. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I know it was a busy one for me. Never lack of anything to do here in Sarnia-Lambton, that's for sure. 'Tis the season. We've been hearing that word Christmas a little bit more. Yes. I can hear some of you going, oh, really? I don't know. I love Christmas. You know, it just, you don't have to buy a whole bunch of gifts or whatever. I mean, it's nice to if you can, but it's the one time of year you can be nice to people and they won't accuse you of why you're being nice to them. It's Christmas, right? They'll just think, oh, he's being nice because it's Christmas. Anyway, enjoy Christmas. Enjoy the holidays. Time for family, time for friends. And pardon me, certainly lots of Christmas activities coming up, lots of Christmas concerts coming up, lots of things to do with Christmas, right? So however you celebrate, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, however you want to say it. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be taking a little bit of a trip. I'm looking forward to that, but that's another show. I got some great guests coming up. You know, I always say every Monday, some people go, oh, Monday, I hate Mondays. It's the first day of the week. I love Mondays because I get to do my show. I get to talk to all of you, and I get some fantastic people that are going to be joining me here today. Leanne, Fera. Leanne, she's in the lobby right now. I'm sorry if I'm saying Fera or is it Fera? She'll correct me when she comes on. I never did ask her. But Leanne's going to join me. She's got some really cool things she's doing with her business. She'll be talking to us about that. Dave Brown from the United Way of Sarnia-Lambton is going to be joining us for his monthly update, and we'll see how their $2 million campaign is going for United Way and how you can get involved with them. Support them, volunteer, or donate some money to help them reach their $2 million goal. And David Crosbie from the Bluewater Chordsmen. They're getting ready for a special Christmas concert. He'll be here joining me for that as well. Pardon me while I clear my throat. So that's what's happening coming up on the show. We got a full hour to talk to you. If you are watching the show, we're simulcast in about 5 different countries. Of course, we're here in Canada and Sarnia-Lambton. We are live in Australia on our hub there. We are live on the hub in England, all throughout the United States, Ireland, and South Africa we're live in right now too. So our friends from around the world are watching us here today. And we thank our friends for running the hubs and getting the simulcast throughout the world. All right, we got to talk some hockey, though. Sarnia Sting fans, boy, it's been a real roller coaster of a ride for the Sarnia Sting this year. And, of course, they've been missing Jamieson Rees, who's been off for many, many weeks. The question keeps coming up, will Jamieson, well, not will he, when will he return? I don't have any official words, if you will, from the Sarnia Sting. But I can say I've heard some chatter on the local radio station, CHOK. Lee Cunningham, the voice for the Sarnia Sting, has strongly suggested that Jamieson Rees will be back before the Christmas holidays break. So it's been strongly suggested. That's the best way I can put it. It's like allegedly, right? Strongly suggested Jamieson Rees will be back before the Christmas holidays. And I think, I think the fans are excited for that. I think it really raises the bar for Jamieson Rees because he's obviously been missed. But the Sarnia Sting, a roller coaster ride, and this is just my sportual opinion, they're making goals, right? And a lot of the games that they're playing are high-scoring goals. Not all of them. They've had some hard losses too. What team doesn't? But they're scoring the goals. They've just been struggling with how to close the deal. And, different changes out there. But they were on the road all last week and some ups and downs in there as well. The Sarnia Sting, of course, were playing in Kingston against the Kingston Frontenacs. This was a hard one for sure. It was 8-2, right? Taking on Kingston. Fantastic score of 8-2. So way to go, Sting there. A nice one for them. And that keeps the confidence level. When you win, you feel really good, right? Of course, and when you're not, you're going to get a little bummed out, right? So this was a nice win as they headed out on the road, 8-2 in that one, and then a bit of a hard loss to the Ottawa 67s as they come up short in that one. A final score of 8-4 in favor of Ottawa. Came out looking strong in the beginning there, but final score once again 8-4, and then to the Oshawa Generals, a little bit of a revenge match there, maybe. Final score 3-2 there. Now, it is notable to point out, Hugo Lavinius, who's been playing with the Sarnia Sting, now has 17 goals, and he has gotten a goal. He's in an 8-goal streak. So, in other words, he's gotten a goal in the last 8 games. So he's doing fantastic for the Sarnia Sting. Franco Spravero, I always mention him. Jay Peckham, if he's watching, he'll be laughing because, Franco's one of my favorites. He's just he's like a little firecracker. He just goes, he plays past the whistle, and he does really well for the Sting. The Sting have a lot going on. There are some young players in there as well. So, of course, there's, experience that needs to be learned still. But they've got the mindset going on. It seems like they've gotten out of a bit of a rut trying to keep up with things, so to speak. So, again, Hugo Lavinia is doing fantastic for the Sarnia Sting, so I wanted to give him a shout-out. And coming up on Friday, November 30th, the next game, which I'll be at, of course, against the Flint Firebirds. This will definitely be, I don't know, I don't like to use the word revenge, but maybe grudge, whatever, as the Sarnia Sting lost to the Flint Firebirds when the Flint Firebirds were on a 16-game losing streak, and the first win to Flint Firebirds went from the Sarnia Sting. So, nobody likes to be that one, but it happens. So they'll be looking for, we'll say payback, I guess, there. As that's going to happen on Friday, November the 30th. And, of course, I'll be live pregame at the Sarnia Sting Progressive Auto Sales Arena for that one, broadcasting live on our Facebook channel here. And my friends Jay Peckham and Jake Chersky always join me at intermissions. And you never know who else is going to show up at the other intermission. Sometimes we get some of the young hockey players or some of the charities and nonprofits that are at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. So lots to talk about. Again, coming up November the 30th. And tickets on sale for that. Come on down and support the Sting. They're your Sarnia Sting. We wanted them here. We got them. And we need to give them the support. Let's fill the seats up there, again, on November 30th against the Flint Firebirds. All right, well, as I said, 'tis the season to be jolly. Let me just ask you the question. Do you believe in Santa Claus? What do you mean? How dare you say no? If you don't believe in Santa Claus, you need to get to the Imperial Theater and go see Miracle on 34th Street. I had a guest on here a few weeks ago who actually plays in Miracle on 34th Street in this. And she fully admitted that, she kind of got her Christmas rekindled by just playing a part in this. The magic of Christmas. It's against the law in my house to say that there's no Santa Claus. There is a Santa Claus. What he looks like to you, that's up to you. But Miracle on 34th Street, if you want to rekindle or you just want to enjoy the magic of Christmas, what a great way to get out and see some fantastic local talent. I like to promote local theater because I go to a lot of it, not as much as I'd like to. But you don't have to leave Sarnia to see fantastic live performances. You can go right here in Sarnia to the Imperial Theater. Victoria Playhouse has fantastic shows out there as well. But Miracle on 34th Street is on right now at the Imperial Theater. Go to imperialtheater.net to get your tickets for that. If you like Celtic, you're going to love this one. It's Bridges of the Spirit, Christmas Celtic, if you will, coming to the Holiday Inn this weekend. So get your tickets for that as well. It's real simple. We're going to post all these links and all these posters after the show is over, so you'll be able to get all the information for that. But I'm not going to be able to miss this one, but I'm going to. Oh, I wish I could get there, but I got other things I got to do. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this is going to be fantastic. If you're Celtic, Irish, and Christmas all in one, that's where you're going to want to be for that. It's coming to the Holiday Inn this weekend. Great local talent also coming up on December 7th, which is also First Friday, I might add, here in Sarnia. And Rob Sharp and Little Chicago going to be playing at the River City Vineyard, doing a fundraiser for the River City. Tickets, $20 in advance for that and $25 at the door. So save $5, support a cause, fantastic music, large stage at the River City. If you haven't been there, it's on Minton Street. If you're as old as me, you remember it as the old YMCA. At River City, they're going to have a fantastic night of wonderful music from Rob Sharp and Little Chicago. And you'll be supporting the River City and their shelter as well. And they're asking if you do go, in addition to buying a ticket, if you want to bring some canned goods and food for their food bank. They have a food bank also at River City. So great night of entertainment and great way to support local, right? All right. Well, as I mentioned, too, coming up, it is First Friday on December the 7th. As much as I love Christmas, I still got to say, wow, it's December. Okay. I know today's November 26th, but it's here. what happened to summer? Anyway, it just keeps moving around here. First Friday happening. And of course, our friends down at Cheeky Monkey, I always like to give them a special mention. They're real great supporters of local music. 7 to 9, classic rock band, Big Highway, backed by popular demand. And they're going to have some art display in there as well. And don't wait till 7 o'clock. You can get down there about 4:30 in the afternoon, maybe 5 o'clock if you're skipping out of the office early on Friday afternoon. The Hog Bar's down there. They got great staff, and they got entertainment. The coffee shops, everybody's got something going on down there. So get out and support local and appreciate the culture that we have in downtown Sarnia. And then stop by Cheeky Monkey about 7 o'clock to see Big Highway. Looking forward to that for sure. This is we had a guest on here a few weeks ago, Harold Collins, who's a local musician, joined me here on the show. I've known Harold for a few years now, supporting independent music. He's one of them. And he's going to have a Sarnia Indie Nights, and that's going to happen coming up in January. I know, like, we're already talking about January. It's not that far away. Christmas will be gone before you know it. We'll be starting 2019. Woo! What are you doing for New Year's Eve? Anyway, coming up January 19th, this all local music is going to be happening down at Theater 42. And if you haven't heard of Theater 42, it's the old, I call it the old 914 Union Hall in the corner of Divine Indian here in Sarnia. They've turned it into a fantastic theater for plays, dinner theater, and live entertainment. And Harold's put a lot of work into getting some great local bands together. So if you appreciate local music, independent music, these are all original songs. It's not cover music, right? We can do that anywhere. We want to promote the local talent here, the independent music that they're creating. And of course, Quiet Mind is taking the lead on that. And several other bands can be happening there as well. Once again, we'll post all this in the comments below. And speaking of which, if you are watching this show in one of the 5 countries, wherever you're watching from, there's a link above in the description. Make sure you click on that link. So it brings you right over to the show page, and that way we'll be able to see your comments. You can make your comments or ask your questions, and we'll be able to share that with our guests. They'll be able to see your comments as well, so we welcome that. And please, if you're enjoying the show so far, don't worry, I won't do all the talking soon. I'm almost done. We'll get the guests on here in a moment. Click the share button, share that around. I almost went past that one. Mamma Mia! Are you an ABBA fan? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Love ABBA. ABBA, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is being put on by the Petrolia Lions Club. Now, this is coming up in March, so I know you might think, and that's a ways away, but if you're an ABBA fan, mark this on your calendar. They're an amazing group. You will think ABBA is up on that stage, I promise you. And get your tickets early because this will sell out really fast. They put on a lot of different concerts, music concerts, the Petrolia Lions, and the Petrolia Lions, of course, giving back to their community as well. So Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, coming up in March on behalf of the Petrolia Lions. Who said there's nothing to do in Sarnia and surrounding area? I still hear that once in a while, and I really, you got to get off your couch, take a look around. There's lots to do around here. You can't be everywhere, right? Okay. Well, speaking of giving and Christmas and doing what you love, my next guest is that's a little bit of a way to describe what she's doing and who she is. And she's going to share her story with you. And we're going to bring her on right now. She's available in the lobby. Hello, Leanne. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm really well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
Listen, I apologize. How do you say your last name?
Fera.
It is Fera.
Yeah.
Oh, like Farrah Fawcett.
Well, kind of, but the Italian version.
Yeah, right? It's spelled,
Yes.
Yeah, the same, but spelled different.
It's the same, only different. Correct.
Right. Well, thanks for being here. I know you have a really busy work day, and
Thank you.
I think we probably got you out of work for doing this, right?
It's all good. The break is nice.
Yeah, there you go. You've got kind of a unique business going on, and I think it's really neat what you got coming up and how you're giving back. I know you're real passionate about it, but tell everybody who you are, and then talk about your business.
So, as you introduced me, my name is Leanne Fera, and I am the creator behind Sweet Annie and Company, which is a local business here in Sarnia. I am a small business. And I've had my business for almost about 5 years, and I've really evolved into doing the DIY, the do-it-yourself type workshops, farmhouse signs, handcrafted signs. And I am a really big believer in giving back, and that we are here to serve others. That is ultimately our destination and why we are here. So this give back campaign, the idea behind it is that it technically is a free workshop to attend, and the participants will create a sign that's similar to this. It's on a smaller scale. So what they'll do is it's technically a free workshop. We are accepting donations, and I'll
Okay.
get to that part of it. So what we do is participants will register. They'll create a sign for themselves that's made up of a number of different holiday themes. And I am asking that once they complete the sign for themselves, that they would also complete a second sign that will then go on and be donated to Bluewater Health. Those signs will be distributed throughout the hospital and to patients that won't be home for the holidays.
Mhm.
And so you'll see them, they'll be gifted to them. They can have by the bedside table. You'll see them maybe in different departments on the desk, etc. So it's just a way for people to come, give their time. All of this is done by donation. So the stencil
Yeah.
designs, I've donated. Lowe's here in Sarnia has been wonderful to donate the wood. There's
Oh, wow.
paint as well.
So,
And just a good way to come together as community.
so a couple things come to mind. So if I suck as an artist,
Doesn't matter. This is a no-fail project. Dave.
yeah, okay, good. Because I like stick people I have trouble with, right?
It's
so
good.
that's good to know.
It's good.
I think it's really neat that you're doing it because I can think of better places I'd want to be at Christmas than in a hospital.
Right. And people get so caught up now. Well, not just now, but they always have got caught up in the holidays and worrying about
It's an emotional time.
Their family. And Christmas isn't always an easy time for people.
No.
Whether it be you're fighting an ailment that keeps you from your family. You could be here alone. You may be grieving the loss of a loved one.
Yeah.
So this is really a time to come together. And I always tell, participants in a workshop that they do with me that they're coming to a workshop where they think they're going to create something pretty. And for me, it's the complete opposite. And the way that I look at a workshop and participants coming to spend their time with me is just that. They're giving me the gift of time. And time is the greatest gift that you can possibly give someone.
I couldn't agree with you more on that one.
Right. And we live in a society where people thrive on telling others just how busy they are. And you can be really busy and have nothing to show at the end of it.
Well, I hear that all the time. I'll say, I want to call me. Well, you're really busy. You know what? Why don't you let me decide if I have time for you? But it does come along. Oh yeah, I'm sorry I haven't called. I've been really busy, and you'll be busy next week and the week after and the month after, and you'll always be busy.
You will always be busy.
You got to prioritize the time, though, right?
You will always find a reason why you shouldn't. So this is a great way for people to come together just as community. These workshops are amazing because there is an element of therapy that happens within them.
For sure.
Which is wonderful. And then you're giving back, which is the nice part. So any donations that come in are going to go to the Bluewater Foundation for child, and I want to make sure I get it right, child and adolescent mental health inpatient unit.
I that's awesome because, and I say this often, I have a lot of conversations, and I was just at an event with the Bluewater Health Foundation on the weekend, and I was talking to Kathy Alexander, right? And I said, even on my show and on regular conversations, walking, down the street, the coffee shop, that word mental health, it just comes up in the conversation on a daily basis.
It does.
Which I guess in a way is good because it means we're talking about it.
To some degree, yes, we are.
Yeah. And I mean, there's the bad side of the conversation, but it's nice to know that the support. Sarnia-Lambton seems to be really big on supporting the mental health, which I think is fantastic because there's still such a stigma attached to that.
Yes.
And I always say, let's stomp the stigma and get that out. So that's what a great way that you're giving back there.
Well, it's trying to reach our young community early while we can. So I don't think that there will ever be enough support for that. So this is, it's just a couple of hours to come out, have a little bit of fun, be a little bit inspired.
Sure.
Kathy Alexander will be with us on Sunday. So our first group that's coming through is this Sunday at Riverbank and Company, which is downtown at 172 Front Street,
Okay.
right next door to the Scotiabank parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you go on to my Facebook page, Sweet Annie and Company, or Instagram, you'll find there'll be a couple more dates that will come out, and you'll register for it. And it's just going to be a good couple of hours.
Yeah, because this first one's already sold out, isn't it?
Correct, it is. It filled quite quickly. Yes.
So that's led to you putting on more then.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. So how did this come about for you? I mean, we've sort of known each other a little bit, you know. We've sort of been getting to know each other,
Yes.
what we do. But what's your passion behind all of this? Like, what made you say, I want to do this give back thing? I mean, aside from the business side of it.
Because I am that advocate for giving,
Yeah.
not giving back, but serving others.
Yeah.
We don't do it enough. People are often looking for the what's in it for me.
Right.
Right. And just based on what my, faith and driving force and things that get me through every day.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. We need to help others. It's so easy. And when you help others, it comes back to you tenfold.
Why do you
in the most unimaginable ways?
Yeah. I could do a whole show on stories of doing things, and then 10 years later, it comes back to you. 20 years later, it comes back to you.
It will come back to you. Yes.
And if not back to you, to someone else, right? I mean, it typically does come back. So you've heard of the golden rule, do unto others. I like to talk about the platinum rule, and I forget the doctor's name, but the platinum rule was just do it just because you should.
Just because you should.
Just because you should. No need anything back or whatever. It's always nice to get back. I mean, that's true. But what do you think? We don't do enough of it, I think. I mean, we see a lot of it in Sarnia-Lambton. I think most who live here would agree that Sarnia-Lambton is a very giving community, comes together a lot. But there's still a lot out there that's not. What do you think stops people from doing it, giving?
Because I think they think somebody else will do it.
Yeah.
I'm too busy. Right? It's just like taking the time for it's like taking time for self-care.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make the time, and there's a feel-good element to it. If somebody can come and do this, and you don't know who you're going to meet.
That's
the
right.
Conversation that you could have with someone, and the difference that you make with someone in just a few short hours. In my business, I have met the most amazing, I will say primarily women, because typically when it comes to home decor, that's usually the force behind it is the woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have met women who I believe have been put in my path, who have added to my life in the last couple of years, just through stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I am so
awesome.
grateful. And the joy that it brings is unbelievable. And that's what it is. It's joy. It's about doing things without having to be asked. It's about adding value to somebody else. Volunteer with a local community, whether it be, Rebound or Noel's Gift or something like that.
I think it should be law.
It should be law.
Should be law. You got to give 3 hours a week community service to something.
Right.
Because not everybody has the money to give either, right? But I mean, we're always looking for that.
And the sad part is that people, when you do something kind for someone else, they're often wondering now what the catch is. What's the catch? There is no catch.
I saw you giggling when I talked about Christmas earlier. And I said, the great thing about Christmas is it's the one time a year you can be nice to people and they won't accuse you of having a hidden agenda for why you're being nice.
Right.
They just go, oh, it's Christmas. But if I did that nice thing to you in July, you might go,
wonder,
what's that Burrows character want?
He wants something.
He wants something.
Right.
Right. So if we could have that Christmas mentality like that all year round, like just imagine the magic that would happen, right?
Yes. And my goal in life is to live the most authentic life possible.
Yeah, and maybe leaving it a little bit better than the way we found it, right?
It's the best we can do.
Yeah.
And we can just continue to try.
So let me ask you, and we'll wrap up here, and we've got a few minutes before I move on to my next guest.
Yeah.
But where did the name Sweet Annie and Company come from?
Oh my gosh, I get asked this all the time.
I'm sure, because your name's not Annie.
It's not Annie.
So who's Annie?
Believe it or not, I am Annie. So if you were to go back to my family and my friends who have known me most of my life,
Okay.
I have an older brother, and we're 18 months apart, and he could not say Leanne.
Oh.
And it came out Annie, and it stuck. So here I am at almost 45 years old. It's often shortened to Anne, but Annie, that I have been Annie all my life.
Oh, so if I start calling you Annie, then you'll
I will answer.
Right? Is that what most people call you? I guess family probably.
All family and my closest friends will call me Annie or Anne.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you ever hear someone refer to me as Anne, they know that they've been around for a while.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll keep calling you Leanne until I've been around a while.
Yeah. And I always knew that and this goes back years and years, where I said, if I ever have a business, I'm going to call it Sweet Annie's. Yeah. Which doesn't make sense. I have so many people who say, why Sweet Annie's?
What is Sweet Annie?
Because that is me. And I shortened the name up because I had started it out as Urban Painting and Decor.
Oh, okay.
And I shortened it within the last year to and Company, because it allows me to work with community partners. Right.
Yes, a little more of a vague title so you can broaden out.
Right. I've done professional development sessions within the city in different workplaces. So it could be a group of 10. I did 20. I worked with Pathways recently, which was wonderful. The Lambton Health was great. We had a group of 40. So private parties that ladies will do and get together, and then my regular workshops with the community, which is great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really neat what you're doing, and it was kind of just how we kind of reconnected. That this all came about. Timing is everything, right? So
timing is everything.
I think it's fantastic we were able to connect. So people can find you on Facebook, and I'm guessing Instagram too, probably.
People will find me on Facebook and absolutely on Instagram at Sweet Annie and Company, and then same thing for Facebook. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well,
I try and keep all my events up to date online there so people can see what's happening.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You'll find me at Riverbank and Company this Saturday for a pop-up shop with lots of good stuff.
Okay.
Custom signs you'll find at Paulina's Flower Shop on Murphy Road. We've had a lot of fun together over the last couple of weeks. And the Chocolate Factory in St. Mary's.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're everywhere.
I'm trying.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Annie, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you, Dave.
I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to doing some more work with you in the future as well. And let's have you back again in the new year.
Would love that.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Have the best day.
All right, Leanne Fera, or Annie, if you know her well enough to say that, right? From Sweet Annie and Company. And she's given back, and she's grateful and thankful, and that's part of what she wants to do. So if you want to get involved, like I said, the first one filled up real fast for this DIY give back party. I guess that's what you would call it. And she's going to have some more days. So head on over there, ladies and gentlemen. The guys are welcome too. If she's saying I can do it, then I might sign up for one of those two and see how it goes. All right, Leanne Fera, thank you so much for joining us. Sweet Annie and Company. All right, well, now moving on to our next guest. He's become a regular around here. He's kind of getting used to it. We've got him trained on how to do this live thing. It's working out pretty good. Whoops, wrong guy. Hang on. Wrong Dave. Here he is, Dave Brown from United Way of Sarnia-Lambton. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks, David. How are you?
Fantastic. Like I said, you know me, I get excited for Mondays because I get to talk to lots of neat people. And you're one of my neat people.
Oh, not musically talented, but neat.
Well, we established that a while ago, you and I, that you weren't. Right. So, how's it going there with this campaign? Trying to hit $2 million. It's been a struggle, has it?
Hey, it has been a struggle. Thanks to the Imperial corporate donation of 155,000,
Oh,
we're
wow.
now up to 1,520,000, which is 76% of our $2 million goal.
Yeah. Okay. So, still a bit of a ways to go. What's the deadline?
Well, till the end of the year.
Till
So
the
we've
end of
got about 4 weeks to go to raise
Yeah.
another $480,000, which is what we raised last year. So it's within reach.
Okay.
We're still hopeful, but we are gaining more and more concern.
Yeah. So this is crunch time. I guess
It is.
do the tummies get a little tighter around your office?
Well, a little bit. And it's fitting that I'm on the show today because, of course, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday.
Yes, that's right.
So we're excited to be on the show to talk about the United Way and our funded agencies, and of course our second annual stair climb, which takes place tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Ah, darn, I can't make that one. I'd get past the first floor. I mean, I'll just come down and give you some money and say, have a nice day.
Well, and we'll welcome that too. But that's the nice thing with our stair climb is we've got 3 separate buildings. So somebody can quit after the first building if they want, or the second building, or champion all 3.
Yeah. What time's that start?
Starts at 3:00 and runs to 6 p.m. over at 1285 Sandy Lane. In Sarnia. That's the Drulo, I think it's Marina Park Place.
Yeah.
Drulo, of course, is hosting the event for the second time, as well as sponsoring the event. So we're grateful to Drulo, and we're grateful to Borderlink Insurance, who's covering the insurance for us.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to allow us to take a few years to grow the stair climb to what it is in other communities. And other communities have done it for decades. They raise tens of thousands of dollars for their stair climb. So we're still very new in it, and but we're excited about the future.
So will you? How many floors is there? 12, right?
12 floors in each building.
Are you going to do all 12?
No, but I've done it.
Yeah,
but I'm not doing it tomorrow.
You're ahead of me. The paramedics are on site.
Well, we'll have somebody from first aid. Yes, yeah, he'll be there, and to make sure everybody is okay. We'll have water available, so it'll be a good event, no doubt.
Yeah, well, I think it's good that you guys do this because after all the food events that you guys put on, like the pasta one, you got to work some of that off. How did that go?
It went quite well, actually. We had 176 people out, raised over $1,400, I think. The Dante Club are terrific people to work with. Their volunteers and staff were treated us really well. We are going to be doing it again, but we're going to do it next year in the springtime.
Okay.
Almost a pre-campaign event, a pre-summertime event. That way in the fall, we can focus more on the employee campaigns and the stair climb and other activities during that busy time period.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So what's the okay, so you need just short of $500,000 here. So what's the plan over the next 4 weeks? So tomorrow's Giving Tuesday, and then what?
Well, right now we're wrapping up a number of employee campaigns, and unfortunately, we still have many campaigns that are still running. Okay. Procore just kicked off on Friday, and they're a matching company that match employee donations and have a great campaign. We're still looking at Sarnia-Lambton's ready to kick off. Lambton College has just kicked off. So there's lots of activities going on, David. So we're focusing on wrapping up those that have been going on for some time now. So, for example, the DFO, Department of Fisheries and Oceans, and Canada Coast Guard just wrapped up today. So we'll have their numbers by the end of the week. Enios Styrelution have run a terrific campaign of lots of creative events, mostly food events, I have to admit. But they're wrapping up their campaign, I think, this week. So we'll have their numbers. And we're finding that some of the small to medium-sized employee workplaces are doing very well. I can tell you, we're looking at the school campaigns today, and both the St. Clair Catholic District School Board and the Lambton Kent District School Board did phenomenal. I think they're up about 25 or 30% over last year. So that's a great indicator. Some of those, as I said, smaller, medium-sized companies are finishing up at or above last year. So we're hoping that that trend continues. We're offering to do as many employee presentations as we possibly can, just to help explain to people where their money goes in our community. You know, there's so many people who've heard of the United Way. They know we do great work. They could probably name a couple of our agencies, but beyond that, they're not sure how specifically the agencies do work in our community, and what kinds of services are available, and how we measure the impact on our community. You know, no longer do we just give an agency money for a program or two and know that they're doing good. They have to fill out quarterly reports, and we measure their results against predefined goals and objectives, so that we can say with certainty that donations are having an impact on our community. We're keeping kids in school. They're doing better in school. We're keeping family units together physically and emotionally. And we're keeping seniors out of emergency rooms and out of chronic care facilities and in their own homes.
Well, I think it's important that you do that, you know, for obvious reasons. I mean, and I just had this conversation with somebody the other day about, you know, charities and nonprofits. Everybody's always looking for money for their thing, their cause.
Right.
But I like to know, when I'm giving money to whomever I'm giving it to, the word impact is a big part of my life. And you're having that impact on somebody, a positive impact. Is it doing something for the better or the greater good? Is it being, you know, even if that means helping to pay somebody's hydro bill, if that's what it is. If the bill's getting paid, okay, that's what it went to. It's got to be difficult. I know, because you've got 19 agencies. I think it's 34, 35 different services under those agencies in that umbrella. Right. There's got to be a lot of no's going on though too. You obviously you can't do it for everybody, but if they can go away and come back though, right, and try again.
Right. Some of your viewers might be interested to know that we actually do 3-year funding for our funded agencies. Years ago, we used to review the agencies every year, and some got more, some got less. Now what we're doing is every 3 years, and that enables an agency to spend more time providing their quality of service, long-range planning, that kind of thing, and less time worrying about their United Way funding. It also has enabled us to decrease our costs, so that we can do other things rather than reviewing budget sheets and audited financial statements. We can expand our day of caring, or we can expand some of the other programs that we're doing to make sure that we're providing as much impact as we can. And you're right, David, the word impact is such a strong word. And the other word that is equally strong is the word local. You know, we all talk about the local diet, shopping local and eating local. More and more people are wanting to donate local. And we're seeing that in our own contributions when we talk to people, but also in our donor option. I know many of your viewers will know that people, when they donate to the United Way through their workplace, they can say, oh, I also want to give $2 a pay to this charity or to that charity. We're seeing an increase in the percentage of money going to local agencies and a decrease of funding going to national organizations. So I'm really excited that's our community is proud enough that we want to support our local agencies as well. So it's that local impact that is really another way of saying United Way.
Yeah, well, I think it's important that people know that, because and I think maybe United Way gets a bit of a label in it, United Way, because it's such a large organization all over. I don't think everybody realizes that when you give to United Way Sarnia-Lambton, it stays, every penny stays right here in Sarnia-Lambton. And it does have that local impact. And, everybody does their charity give differently. I have probably one that's an international one that I give to, and then I have some locals that I give to.
Absolutely.
But where I live right here in my own backyard, you just heard Leanne talking about mental health. You and I both know that's a conversation that comes up all the time.
Right.
It's happening in a lot of communities, but to focus on our community with that, with the youth right now. And I know there's a lot of senior programs for United Way, but there's quite a bit of youth programs happening as well, right?
Absolutely. In fact, right now, 41% of our funding goes to youth programs that we know are keeping kids in school and doing better in school and out of conflict with the law. Programs like Rebound, Big Brothers and Big Sisters. The Autism Summer Camp is a terrific one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's actually one of my favorite youth agencies to talk about. It's an 8-week program It's almost 100% funded by the United Way. And it's the only program like it in Ontario. And each of these 28 children with autism have got one-to-one support. And they enter that program in July, right after the school year, so their brains are already geared to a structure and already geared to learning. Well, what we do during that July and August time period, and this program is operated through the YMCA, but using Autism Canada materials. And it's structured just like the school year. So these kids continue to learn through the summer, not only scholastic stuff, but they'll also learn life skills. Sure. They'll go to the grocery store and that kind of thing. And then when they're done the 8-week program in August, they're all ready to go back to school, and they're already ready to learn. Because when you've got autism, much of that September time period, you're getting back into the routine. You're starting to get retrained to learn. Right. We're cutting out that. So already those kids are already going back ready to learn. We know that last year, I'm going back to 2017, 95% of the parents whose children went to the autism camp said that their children met or exceeded their individual summer goals. And then if we carried it further,
impact right there.
Absolutely. And that's, as I said, locally funded, only program like it in Ontario, provided by and only because of the United Way and our partnership with the YMCA. But you mentioned another thing about the money being raised locally is used locally. With the United Way, it's even more than that. We've got a local board of directors right here in Sarnia-Lambton, and they're the ones that make the budgetary decisions. They're the ones that make policy decisions. So that decision-making process is not taking place in Toronto or Montreal.
I didn't know that. That's okay.
It's right here. 15 volunteers are on our board of directors, and they're the ones that set budgets. So there may be an organization elsewhere that may have high campaign or administration costs. Sure. I mean, typically United Ways don't, but you can be assured that our United Way does not. And all of our audited financial statements for the last several years are available on our website. We're the only United Way in Canada, and I know I've talked to you about this before because I'm proud of it. We're the only United Way in Canada to be members of the Better Business Bureau. So it's third-party validation that contributions are going where they should. And our board said where they should be going is to the agency's programs and services.
Right. That's I didn't know that. Pardon me. My Alexa thought I said her name, so I better shut her up. Mute. Yeah, no, I didn't know that. And that's interesting because it's obviously people who live in this community. Right. So they're kind of aware, maybe involved with of needs, things they're observing in our community, so that there's not that big city mentality sitting at the table. And
all age demographics, 50% of the board members are women. Most still work and have young families, but we've got one or two that are retired. And not just from the core city of Sarnia as well, some from the outlying areas. So, we got a great board. And as I said, they believe that people support the United Way because of those 35 programs and services that we spend all of our time talking about. So that's where as much money as possible should go there. And right now, only 14% of our campaign is used for campaign administration costs. The rest is used for agency investment. And we've got plans in place to decrease our percentage costs even more.
Well, hey, if you can decrease that, it increases the bottom line for something else, right?
And and increases impact.
Yeah, that's right. And I know it. I always like to mention your team. There's only 5 of you there
in total, right?
Doing all of this hard work to raise $2 million. I know you reached it last year. It was a little tight last year too. So hopefully we can help you achieve that goal and get you there. And kudos to your team. I know some of them, so I know they're great people.
They really are.
You must know what you're doing too, because you've been doing this 30 years now.
This is my 33rd campaign.
33rd. Wow,
if you can believe it.
So you were like 12 when you started?
I like to say that. Yeah, it's 12.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Well, all the best to you tomorrow, and enjoy the stairs. I might get my dad actually lives over in that building, so
fantastic.
I'll use it not that I need an excuse, but I'll tell him it was an excuse to go up and see him. And he lives on the 11th floor. So
okay, that's great.
He'll say to me, "So did you walk up the stairs?" And I'll be like, "No."
Well, hit him up for a pledge and say you'll walk down those stairs.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just take the elevator. I'll just give you money. So attack me on the way in. Well,
That's
thanks so much for joining, Dave. And again, I wish you all the best on the campaign. And I'm sure we'll be talking again before Christmas.
I look forward to that. Thank you very much,
All
David.
right. Take care. All right, our friend Dave Brown from United Way, Sarnia-Lambton. They're still looking to raise that money and hit their campaign goal of $2 million. Still some time left, 4 weeks left to hit that goal for United Way. So do what you can. Go to their Facebook page to find out more of how you can give and how you can participate even as well. Had my other guests in the lobby, and then they've disappeared. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will return in just a moment. Oh, a quick moment. There he is. He's back. All right. Well, my next guest is a singer, entertainer extraordinaire as a part of a fantastic group that makes all those wonderful sounds come out. They're known as the Bluewater Chordsmen, and they've got a very special event coming up here. And my friend, David Crosbie.
Hey,
hello,
Dave.
David.
How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for joining me.
No problem.
You got to be getting excited because I know you love this Bluewater Chordsmen, and you've been involved. How long have you been with them?
35 years.
35 years. Wow. So you started when you were 12 too, did you?
Yeah, about that. No, I was about 15.
Is that right?
When I started, yeah.
Yeah. This is the Bluewater Chordsmen. Been around a long time, you know, and different communities I know all over the world. It's a thing, right? The Chordsmen. What got you first interested?
Actually, I had my dad used to sing with the Chordsmen back in the 60s. And when us kids came along, he sort of dropped out of it. And the director kept in touch with my dad at that time, Hank Nienhuis, and he contacted us and invited us out. So me and my older brother went out and we joined. And 2 years after that, my younger brother joined. And at one point, all four of us were in it.
Oh, wow.
My dad retired back, basically, he was in throat problems. So he gave up about, I don't know, about 2002. But us other three boys are still in it.
So it's a family affair.
Yeah, pretty well.
For you. But I know there's been a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of guys come and go in this. But at the same time, you're not the only one that's been there a long time. There's some who've been in this Bluewater Chordsmen for a long, long time.
We have two guys that are over 50 years.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And a majority of our guys, a majority of them are probably, I'd say 70% are 25 years or more.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, the age group, I think typically you talk Bluewater Chordsmen, you think of, 55 and older typically. Is that accurate, or is there some young folks involved too?
We have a lot younger guys now. We have a couple of high school kids. We got a college guy. We got a young music teacher in the Catholic system. He's now out. He's probably under 30.
Okay.
And like I said, there's a nice mix from about 40 to 50 years old. There are some older guys, but we got a good mix.
Yeah, well, that's got to be good for you to see, for someone who's been doing it so long, to see some younger generation, coming in to maybe hopefully keep things going as the olders disappear.
Absolutely. And it's very important nowadays with the school systems. The arts programs seem to be always suffering, and they're chopping them, they're cutting them. So now it's especially important to get kids singing as much as possible, not only for the program for learning, but also it's been proven singing is good for mental health.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with that. And I always said that music is a worldwide language.
It is.
You don't even have to, even if you sing it in a different language, it's still the music behind it all. I remember going with my dad to watching the Bluewater Chordsmen when I was a boy, and other things like Polysar Glee Club and different things like that. But as a boy, I always thought, wow, that's just how that's all put together with all those people on stage, and it just comes out. And it really took me back, earlier this year when I emceed your event at the Imperial Theater, to be off to the side of the stage, watching and listening. It's very impactful music.
Oh yeah, yeah, and we're doing a lot of more modern stuff now. It's not a lot of people at one point looked at 4-part harmony as the old back in the 20s and
Good
the
night, sweetheart.
30s and and stuff. Let me call you sweetheart and things like that. But now we're getting into Daydream from the Lovin' Spoonful in the 70s. We're doing Happy Together. We're doing an old favorite we're starting to learn is Amazing Grace.
Oh yeah.
You Raise Me Up by Josh Groban. Good Night, Sweetheart, Good Night, back in the 60s. We do a myriad of genres and years of music.
I think that's fantastic because I noticed in the audience earlier this year, there's the older generation, but there was a lot of young people in that audience as well, that maybe they're going with mom or dad, or they're going with grandma or grandpa, but there's a good mix in that audience too.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if they want to see some good music, this coming Saturday at New Horizons Community Church, we're going to be hosting our 7th annual benefit Christmas concert. All the proceeds are going to Brain Injury Association of Sarnia-Lambton and Harmonize for Speech. Like was mentioned by the last gentleman in your last segment, all the money that we raise at our benefit concert always stays local. It's very important to us as well to support local organizations. Over the last few years, we've supported the Pathways Children's Center, Bluewater Health Foundation, the Salvation Army, the Food Bank, Into the Good Shepherd, the St. Joseph's Hospice. So every year we choose a local group to support.
Okay.
And then we have our Singing Valentines in February that we're planning to run.
Yeah, how does that work?
Well, it's going to be a Thursday this year. So what we'll probably do is we put together quartets and small groups, and we offer up our services to go out and sing a Singing Valentine at a restaurant, a home, a school, wherever. We're not bashful. And,
I know you're not.
and we'll go out and deliver a rose and a card and sing 3 songs to the person you want us to sing to. And again, the money that we raise goes to charity locally. We also, throughout the year, if somebody wants us for a birthday party or a wedding anniversary, want something special, we will do a singing telegram to them at their event. Again, money goes to charity. And in April, on Sunday, April 28th, we've got our annual show coming up at the Imperial Theater. That's a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. And basically, that's our biggest money raiser of the year. And a good portion of that goes to charity as well. Some of it we keep for our operating budget, but you will be our mighty MC again that day.
I'll be back again. I'm looking forward to it. I really had a good time earlier this year, and it was a lot of fun. And there's now, along with the Chordsmen, aside from the music, comes a special kind of humor that goes along with. Talk about where that comes from.
A lot of it's generated from within. And we picked some funny songs and comedy songs. Like last year, we one of our smaller groups sang a song called "Oh Honey," and they combined it with a parody. And basically the gist was, I love you, honey, for your money,
Yeah,
that kind of things.
I
And
remember
it
that.
was funny. And why did you say goodbye? Uh, right after that, we sang a song that was said, "Why did you say goodbye?" Implying that, you know, the satire of it all was why wouldn't she leave you if all you're there for is their money?
Yeah. That's the two go hand in hand, the humor and the harmonies, and it all comes out. And you guys get in your fancy duds often too, and go out and perform. And I think the Valentine's one is it's got to be popular, especially I think for a young fella, if he wanted to impress a lady and be romantic, that would be. I mean, what lady doesn't like having somebody sing to her?
Absolutely. And we've actually done a couple of wedding proposals.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, those would be fun, right? You probably
Yeah.
go to the place of work or something, and the whole office stops maybe and watches you guys.
Yeah, and there was one in particular, not this past Valentine's, but before that, we went to the Krabby Joe's, and
Oh yeah,
a guy had set up to take his sweetheart out, and they were eating dinner, and the four guys came in, all dressed up, and asked for this lady, and so they went to the table, and at the conclusion of the third song, he pulled out a ring and proposed to her.
that's
And of
fantastic.
course, she accepted.
Well, how could she not after that?
Yeah.
Well, and I know you guys aren't shy because I know last year, sometimes the show after the show is a lot of fun. I know the show in April, we all went over to Tang's for a bite to eat, and everybody was getting up and continued on singing, and the people in the restaurant thought it was great. And of course, the wives of the guys in the chordsmen, they get all like tee like their man singing to them, and it's a lot of fun, right?
Right.
Well, how much are tickets for this event coming up?
Actually, on Saturday, it's a free will donation at the door.
Okay.
There's no real cost to it. It's whatever you want to give.
All right. And where's the New Horizons Church located?
It is on the corner of Russell and Maxwell Street. It's a well-known church because it's got the electronic sign.
Yep.
Out front.
Yeah, I drive by it almost every day. I know exactly where it is. Well, that's fantastic. You guys are doing that, and then of course coming up Valentine's Day, and then in April again.
Yes.
If somebody, so best way to reach is on Facebook. Is that the best way to do it? Or if somebody wants to join or find out more?
Well, we have a Facebook page. They can contact us that way, or they can go to www.Bluewater Chordsmen or www.bluewaterchordsmen.com, and it's got all sorts of contact numbers. It gives a full scope of what we do and how to be a member, what kind of things we sing at, pictures, all sorts of stuff.
All right. Well, sounds good. Well, David, thank you so much for joining me here today. And I look forward to the next time we can see one of your performances. And I'm definitely looking forward to the performance in April.
Oh, thank you very much, David.
All right. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Our friend David Crosbie from the Bluewater Chordsmen invites you to join them this weekend. To find out more about that, go to bluewaterchordsmen.com. They will be singing at the New Horizons Community Church, as David mentioned. I know a lot of the guys involved in the Bluewater Chordsmen. They're a lot of fun. And if you think you don't know how to sing, whatever, just go out. They'll help you get through it. Trust me. You will have a lot of fun. And they always need some behind-the-scenes help as well, too. Maybe working on stage, some stage hands and stuff. So, and the Valentine's thing, guys, pay attention. That might be a good way for you to impress that lady. Or when you're trying to impress, or when that you're with you already. Anyway, you get the idea. That's fantastic. Well, look at how quickly time flies when you're having a good time here on the show. I want to say thank you to all of my guests. First off, Leanne Fera, or Ann Fera, if you know her well enough, from Sweet Annie and Company. She's got a DIY give back coming up. That's one that's already sold out, and she's got a few more. So we'll be posting all these links after the show here, shortly after the show, for you to check out as well. And then, of course, our friend Dave Brown from United Way Sarnia-Lambton, they're still coming up shy of their $2 million goal, just under $500,000 still needed in 4 weeks' time. So do what you can to help them and support them. United Way Sarnia-Lambton on Facebook, and you'll find out more information there. And then, of course, again, the Bluewater Chordsmen, David Crosbie, talking to us and representing them. Get out there and enjoy them for Christmas. They're just a lot of fun and great music as well. So just before I go, just a couple things to mention to you coming up later tonight. If you haven't heard of this Twitch thing, it's been around for a while, but I've gotten into this world, twitch.tv. It's not just for gaming. There's a lot of different things. There's talk shows and podcasts and people painting, and if you want to learn more and interact, that's where to do it. But Father versus Son night is every Monday night on my Twitch channel. That's right. Myself and my son Jason, or the BOY I like to call him, he pretty much kicks my butt at all the games we play, but we have a lot of fun and he enjoys it, so it's good. That's 8:00 Eastern tonight, Monday, and every Monday. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, we do family game night, so you can come out and right online, watch the games and play the games. You don't have to be good. We do board games and that kind of fun stuff. So that's every Tuesday night at 8:00 Eastern as well. So it's like we just play a marble game. It's a marble race, and we do Jackbox trivia. It's a lot of fun, and you can play just from the chat channel as well. Something to keep in mind as well, if you can't watch the video or you don't want to watch the video, you can take me on the road with you as a podcast. We're available everywhere. We're available on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher. We're now available on Spotify. Really excited about that. Google Podcasts. Anywhere there's a podcast, the show with David Burrows is broadcast on there. So this will be uploaded and be available in about 24 hours, and will be available there everywhere. I'm very grateful for that. And I am very grateful for all of you for watching. You know, it's nice to be able to come to you, to your device, wherever you are, talk about our community. And sometimes we bring people in from other communities around the world as well. One of the goals that I have here on the show now that it's live is to connect our community with other communities around the world. So if you've enjoyed this show in any way, please put a 10 in the comments below, and please click the share button. Put it on your Facebook page or wherever you'd like, so that other people can learn about what's happening here in Sarnia-Lambton. I want to thank all of you once again for watching. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend, and I will talk to you next time right here on the show. Bye-bye for now.